So I thought we'd show you a little bit about what's happening here at Just Smith's Garage. So this is the frame for my 66 high school car. I bought a 66 SS 396 360 horse 4-speed car on August 21st, 1971 for $850. You know, and that was my high school car drove this thing every day up until probably the late 90s. And it was in pretty rough shape. It had been in Iowa for a long time, salty roads and stuff. So we took it all apart when I was the editor of Chevy High. We took it all apart, had a bunch of friends come over here. The shop was not here at that time. And we took this whole car apart in a morning, in like 4 hours. There were like 8 of us. It was really a great little piece. Anyway, so this thing's been apart for, over 20 years. So the body is down at my friend Pete Santini's shop, and it is getting very close to coming out of paint jail. So I drug the frame back up here. The body was sitting on the frame for a long time, and now they're getting ready to paint it. They put it on a rotisserie, so I brought the frame back up here. And we had painted this thing 20 years ago, but it was in pretty rough shape and been sitting outside down there for a long time. So cleaned it all up, repainted it, and then started putting it back together. So kind of where we're at with this is the original 12 bolt is still in the car. I put it back in just last weekend, and a pair of Strange shocks, and we put a Summit rear disc brake package on the rear end. And this is just going to be a road car, so right now it's got a 273 gear in it because we're just going to take out and blast on the freeways with this thing. I got plenty of other cars to go fast, so this will be kind of a road car. So the motor is all done. It's out actually being detailed right now over at Steve Strope's Pure Vision shop. He's painting the block for me and making it look pretty. It's all done. We dynoed it big, a long time ago, 20 years ago. Put a stock flat tappet camshaft back in it, and it makes about 375, still based on the oval port heads and stock hydraulic replacement camshaft and a Performer intake manifold and a Holley carburetor and set of headers. So moving forward, we're going to keep the 4-speed in it for now. The wide ratio, it'll work. I figured out the gear ratio, and with about a 27-inch tall tire, this thing will cruise down the freeway in 4th gear at like 2,400 RPM, which is just about right. So it should work well. So right now, a long time ago, we put one of the very early Doug Norden tall spindle packages on this thing with his negative roll A-arms. We just cleaned them up, painted them, put them back on here. So talking about spindles, this is a 64 to 66, maybe even 67 Chevelle spindle, and also early F-car 67, 69. Pretty simple little rascal, piece of forging. In 1970, Chevrolet went to a much larger spindle. Now you see this was a drum brake spindle, so there's no bracket here for a caliper. When they went to the 70 Camaro and also the B-bodies cars in the 70s and early 80s, they went to an integrated spindle that's also significantly 1 inch taller, right about there. So when they did that, they integrated the bracket into the spindle, so it's all one piece. In this case, for my Chevelle, what we've done is we're going to add these F-car spindles to the front of the car, raises the spindle height 1 inch. So when you go to this upper control arm, or when you go to the taller spindle rather, you need this control arm, because otherwise you end up putting a ton of spacers in here to make the alignment correct. So because of the taller spindle, it pulls the upper control arm in, so you have to space it back out. He actually intentionally builds this arm specifically for those spindles. And then we're going to run some fairly hefty springs in this thing, kind of short, so I don't have to use a spring compressor. And we'll see what the ride height is with it. We'll just try it out the way it is right now, and then we can go from somewhere else. And then, so as soon as I get my engine back from Strope's, we'll drop the motor and transmission in here, put the drive shaft in it, and then we can drop the body on. And we'll be starting to put this thing back together. It's kind of exciting. It's been apart for a long time.